Light's not perfect. It's kind of dark, like Two-Face. So it's March 3rd, 2020. 2 days ago, Governor Baker issued a state of emergency for Massachusetts.
Today, I'm declaring a state of emergency in Massachusetts.
People are really kind of concerned about the whole COVID-19 coronavirus, whatever you want to call it. There's about, I want to say 1,000 cases in the United States right now, about 100 in Massachusetts. Well, at least that was yesterday. There's probably more now, maybe 200. I don't know. I should check. Yeah, that was 2 days ago. I'm not super worried about it. I mean, not for myself. I'm healthy, and healthy people shouldn't be concerned about it because you're healthy. I am concerned for those who aren't healthy, obviously, as many should be. I've got some family members, who smoke and drink and just overall aren't very healthy. So those are the types of people who this virus is really going to affect. I mean, if you're watching my vlog right now, you don't need me to tell you about the virus. I don't know where this is going to go. Part of me is saying, oh, this could be like Ebola or SARS or MERS, but then again, maybe not. Maybe people aren't taking this seriously because of everything that we've seen so far in the past couple decades, right? SARS, MERS, Ebola, those didn't quite have it. Virology speaking, pathogenicity speaking. But this one is different. I've never actually seen who declare a pandemic, and that's what we're seeing now. So, I mean, I've always been fascinated with virology and bacteriology, and I graduated with a degree in medical laboratory science. I wanted to pursue epidemiology because the whole thing just fascinated me so much, but I didn't like the math. So I'm like, screw that. I'd rather just analyze epidemiology and on my own time, kind of like a hobby. I don't know where this is going to go. Last night I found out that the NBA and the MLB canceled the rest of their season, or suspended it, I should say, until further notice. Colleges, my brother goes to Bridgewater, his school suspended, gave them an extended week-long spring break, so they don't go to class again until late March. If they go back to class at all, they might do online classes. A lot of large groups are being canceled. They canceled the St. Patrick's Day parade in efforts to contain the virus. But I mean, it's like fighting the tide. You're not going to be able to do it. I mean, sure, it does help, but eventually, I mean, with an R0 value of 3 or 4, wherever it's at right now, that's impressive. That's impressive. It's scary. Impressive. I remember when I first saw the virus, I was in a hotel room. I just finished making my bed in Orlando, and I think there was 40 people infected worldwide, and now we're upwards of 120,000. And people are just flailing their arms up in the air. They don't know what to do. Hospitals are telling their staff that they may mandate nurses, and even on their day off, like, you have to come in. It's not an option. If you're sick, you have to work anyway. One thing, I'm not concerned about my health. I actually prefer to get it now before it mutates and gets worse. At least if you get it now, you'll develop antibodies so that when it does worsen, it won't be that bad because you've already seen something so similar, so your body's smart in that way. I'm not smart, but my body's smart. One thing that I am concerned about, though, is if I do get sick, who knows? Sometimes things go south and you get sicker than you expect, even though you're healthy. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. So one thing that I am concerned about is I don't have health insurance. At the start of the year, I left my part-time job, which gave me, or I was able to affordably pay for health insurance. But since I went to per diem to start my business, I kind of let go of that. And I don't have anything right now. So if I were to get sick and had to go to the hospital, I wouldn't be able to because I can't afford it. I can't pay for it. And the last thing I want is more debt. So I scrambled yesterday trying to get Mass Health. Hopefully they'll help pay for it. I mean, even if they bring it down to an affordable range, I'm not making a ton of money right now. My business is making money, but I'm not paying myself. But at least if they can bring it down to a point where I can afford health insurance, then that would make me feel a lot better. It's just good to have. That's my one concern, and the concern for my family. But this is interesting to follow. Entertaining is not the right word, but it's fascinating. And it's always fascinated me to watch it progress, to see what happens. It's like watching a movie, but in real time. Right? Because those are the kinds of movies that I've always found interesting because they were so out of the normal, out of the ordinary. It was like the World War Z or whatever it is, like the zombie movies, apocalypse movies. Not that I think that this is going to turn into an apocalypse, but you never know. Like, people might freak out. I know right now it's almost impossible to find hand sanitizer anywhere. So something in my business is what we're going to do is make our own hand sanitizer. We're not looking to gouge everybody's eyes out, but we do want to capitalize on the demand. So we're making our own hand sanitizer, and right now I think they're going for $34 on Amazon for an 8-ounce container. So we'll probably sell it for $20. It's almost half, so it's not terrible, and we still get to profit a little bit and help fund health insurance. Where do I think this is going to go? I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, the experts say that this is just the beginning. And this is going to be months. This is going to be months of this, and it might even come back every year. I don't know. I've got plenty of seed. I can grow turnips and beets and potatoes and carrots. Definitely can grow a lot of food this summer if that's something that I think, like, oh, you know what, people are having a hard time finding food. Yeah, but I just don't see that being legitimate. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't know. Kind of ranting about it all. No one's sick so far. I haven't met anyone sick. My uncle works for UPS, and he delivered a package to someone who was confirmed to have the virus. But it's been like 2 weeks now, and he still hasn't had symptoms. So I haven't seen him in weeks. So I'm not concerned about that, or at least for me getting it. My mother works as a nurse in the local emergency room. She was exposed to someone from Milan, Italy, suspected to have the virus, but he was positive for the flu. He could have had both. But she hasn't shown signs or symptoms either. I spent a day at the mall yesterday working at the kiosk. So there's a risk exposure there, but I'm not really on the schedule for the kiosks at all in the upcoming week, so I'm not worried about that. I'm really going to do a lot of stuff on my own. Speaking of, I've got to run and finish up some processing that I've got going on now. It's probably running dry. I'm going to try to do one of these videos every day, edit it. It shouldn't take that long. I'm not going to clip anything in, maybe a couple of pictures, but that's about it. It's March 12th, 2020 at 12:48 hours.